Hey Nils,
Hello.
do you want to have some recorded small talk?
Why not? Why not?
Why not? What is the worst thing that could happen with artificial intelligences analyzing all of YouTube content? Um,
You have seen Terminator, you know the worst case.
yeah, it's a um, good choice for the worst case.
Yeah.
Hey Denise, you weren't at the Open Infra Summit, right?
Hey, Maximilian. I am not going to the summit. I am still here in Boston, just enjoying the weather.
I just try to understand who I met there and who, not just to collect to map faces to names. Still struggling with that.
Yeah, it's tough, but I hope to get to some of these things. I just started with the Linux, not too long ago. Daniel and I worked at a law firm, and now we're in-house with the Linux Foundation. So.
Okay.
Hi, Kendall.
Hello.
Maybe I find some reason this year again to join the member summit.
Hi, good morning. It's Tintin speaking.
Good morning.
Good morning.
We'll just give it another couple minutes. We're still missing quite a few people.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Shruti.
Good morning, good evening.
Recording in progress.
Right, I think we can go ahead and get started. So we'll start off this meeting with the weekly check-ins that Shruti went over last meeting. So we'll go down the list and everyone will just give their short update. So the first thing would be release update. Will that be from you, Daljit? Or Govin?
Sure, I can give an update. So 1 second. Yeah, so I don't have, let me share my screen.
Okay.
Give me one moment.
Kendall, I wanted to check if you also plan to give an update from last week's stakeholders meeting after the weekly check-in. Could you give a brief review of that for those who weren't there?
Yeah, I think we have Amar on. I think he would be the best one to give that update. Amar, would you be willing to do that?
Yeah, sure. Do you want me to do it now or after the?
We'll do it after the weekly check-ins. That's okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
So about the 1.8 release blockers, we had a discussion last week, and so the Magma CI was broken, and TNG team is working on that to resolve it. So still all of them are not green. If TNG team is here, they can give more details if anybody is interested. And Tim is working on adding a new ARM CI build job, so it's almost complete. We expect that to get completed by this week, and after that, ARM CI build job will be enabled. And Wave Labs have to check in a couple of PRs, so that's also almost done. So if Wave Labs team is here, they can give an update on that. So it's all going well, except the CI stability. We have a meeting this week to discuss about it. So rest of the issues that are mentioned as blockers here, they are almost in completion. So that's it from my side.
Then maybe to add about the CI status, there were 3 main jobs that were failing regularly because of the switch of the Artifactory. These were the build all, the CWF integration tests, and the LTE integration tests. They run through now, but they are still unstable and flaky. This is not because of the Artifactory issue. This is because of the current test behavior. But I stopped currently looking into that. So if there is more stability needed, this needs to be opened again.
Okay. Yeah, Nils, that needs more discussion to conclude on the topic. As per the last discussion, it's not stable, and Max said that he will continue working on that. So if it is done from your side, we can have a detailed discussion in next call on that.
Yeah, and I think for releasing, that's also something that can be mitigated by extensive manual testing until the CI is stable. Yeah, it's
okay. Yeah, so those things have to be figured out to make a decision, Max. So currently, this is the only blocker. So rest of the items are in completion.
Hi, Govind. This is Daljit. The WL5G. These are like WaveLab 5G test cases. They are broken, and who is working on these?
Broken CI, it's TNG team, and they need some time, looks like. So if you can manually validate, we can make a decision in the next call.
Sorry, I need to correct this. We are not looking into the 5G tests. The 5G tests are running not on the GitHub infrastructure. We don't have access.
Yeah, but the failure is
Failure is related to package installation, not the test case. I posted it in DevOps CI, the failures.
And I asked where the tests are running because I don't have access.
Okay, so the tests are running in local Wavelabs repo, Wavelabs lab.
I think we should pull this discussion out of this reporting here.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it's a discussion we should have, and it's maybe a blocker that should be worked on.
Yeah. This is we'll have a detailed discussion on this topic. So other than the CI stability, rest of the items that are mentioned here looks good. Yeah, that's it from.
Are all the blocking pull requests merged?
Yeah, from ARM side, whatever is needed is merged, and the traffic test passes. No blockers from our side.
Yeah, from Wavelab side, we are waiting for the builds. So there are some dependency with the OVS changes. So once it is there in the build, one round of testing done, then we can merge the data path changes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, DevOps update. I don't think I see Tim on the call. Shubham, will you be giving that update?
Yeah, so from DevOps side, like me and team were working on the CI pipeline and the AWS AMI image. So the CI pipeline like he's working on, so we have a call this week. I have to get updates from him. Regarding the AMI, it was built, but we have a pipeline that actually push the AMI to AWS. That should only be done via GitHub, and we have to replace the credentials because previously couldn't add the credentials, and now those credentials are expired. And I don't have access, so I have set up a call with Tim so we can do that. After that, we will update new AMIs on our AWS public, then we can publish that to Marketplace. Yeah, these are the only updates for now.
Great, thank you, Shubham. Okay, next is testing. Tian?
Actually, the OAI team is just start to take a look at the testing task. So actually, we are in the progress of learning stuff, and then so that we don't have any update for that. But again, we are working actively to learn how to do that. Yeah.
Okay. Next is outreach. There are not really any updates here. I do know that they are going to want to ramp up the outreach in the next couple of weeks. So we should have more updates from that soon. Next, we'll have security from Lucas.
Hello, hey. From outreach, I had a call, not call, but he actually met Tellison, so I can give those updates. We are actually planning Magma Day, maybe in few months. So that is in partnership with Open Infra Asia. The Open Infra Asia have multiple countries like India will be there, and Korea, China, Japan, and all these meetup groups combined become Open Infra Asia. So Alison has connected us with those community managers, you can say. So Open Infra will be like lead this, and we are also including CNCF and Magma. So in these three communities are planning together a Magma Day. So yeah, this was the update. That's it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you, Shubham. All right, Lucas.
Hello and good morning. So the first thing I'm doing is looking at the community member call from last week to see what the impact should be on prioritization of security goals. And I think as a community, we should be talking about how do we focus on the most important things, since there are an endless number of tasks we can do. And I very much welcome input on that. I'm going to talk to Cotter this week if I can. And Amar, I'd love your thoughts and feedback on aligning our security goals with the product goals.
Yeah, sounds good. I haven't actually given it much thought, so I'd be interested in also learning what you're already doing there.
Sounds good. I will reach out.
Perfect. Thanks.
So I think
lost internet connection. Or we lost connection to Lucas.
I think we lost Lucas.
Oh, we have lost my connections. Testing one,
you're
two,
back.
three.
There you are.
My internet connection is unstable. So work on action pinning. So pinning GitHub actions would require a new YAML lint configuration. I'd like to get community feedback on the feasibility of that. There would be small changes and probably fully automatable. Where's a good place to talk about that? Is this the right place?
Sure.
Maybe it's something that can be started in Slack.
Okay. So I'll bring that up in Slack and just looking for thoughts on how disruptive that is. Next item is the security of the AWS AMIs. Shivam has made important progress there. And I want to introduce another goal here, which is the security issue number 100, which is about removing unused packages from the base image since they create attack surface. So Shivam, we should coordinate on how to do that without making your job too hard.
Yeah, sure, definitely.
Let me call out that TNG has made a ton of progress on the Helm update, and this makes a real dent in the number of open vulnerabilities in the Go packages, and it's very positive. It was a lot of work, and it goes to the amount of security debt that we've accumulated over the years, and the importance of keeping up on that debt. Maximilian, do you want to add anything there?
No, I think that was a good summary. I think we made some progress. We are not yet there on this Helm upgrade. And I think it's an upgrade of a dependency of some orchestrator. No, orchestrator is the wrong word. I can't summarize it right now. Sorry.
Right. The last item I would introduce is we have a roadmap item to create the SBOM in the CI. And I'm looking first into the LFX security tool for doing that. It doesn't seem to be very feasible just because IT there has been having a tough time getting started. I'm looking at the SIFT package action, and I would welcome feedback on that. I'll introduce that in the DevOps call. Maximilian calls out that they are focused on security more than compliance, and so that's a prioritization choice we're making. It works well for me, actually. I quite like their CLI tool. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you, Lucas. All right, the next two updates don't have any owners, so if you think you're the right person, please speak up. It's the feature development and better engineering. Those two don't have owners to give updates, so would anyone on the call right now be the right person for that?
I think I just put that as headings. So under feature development, I wanted to pick up better engineering effort is around C++ migration and Bazel effort, and Datapath, also any fixes. So all those are under better engineering. Feature development can be part of the release updates if Wavelabs team has anything around 5GSA.
Gotcha.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So that was just sub-bullets.
Understood. Okay.
Couldn't figure that.
Then we'll go to the C++ migration updates from Rashini.
Yeah, hi. Yeah, currently, we have divided the task to various threads. So we started with S1AP task. We migrated all the C files to CPP for S1AP. And now we are converting all hash tables to CPP. So hopefully next week we'll be completing on the S1AP task. And parallelly, Vikram is working on migrating all C files to CPP for the MME app application. Yeah, we continue to do that.
Great. Thank you. Next, Basil effort, Nils.
Yeah, hello again. So currently we have shifted some resources to support with CI issues and release. But apart from that, main milestone we are currently working on is to run the LTE integration tests on the basally filed services. This will be a separated workflow, so it will not yet replace the current LTE integration tests. We will do this when a switchover is discussed. There were some performance problems that are now seem to be solved. Next steps will be verify the OAI pipelines with the Bazel builds. This is ongoing, but we hope that we can have some results shortly. Build release artifacts with Bazel, various small detail enhancement, and after that we should start a bigger discussion about a switchover. That's it.
Great. Thanks, Nils. And then lastly, we have Datapath, Nick or Yogesh.
Yeah, Nick, you want to add something?
Not much from my side. The only thing on Datapath is I think the QFI, QS stuff you're working on.
Yes. So yeah, I'll just give a quick update. So as part of 5G QFI support, obvious changes has been done to support the extension header with QFI. So the obvious changes are in. There is a minor change in pipeline which has to be done. So once the builds are stable, we'll do some basic sanity and merge the changes. So this will enable the QFI processing in the extension header of GTPU. Yeah, so maybe if this all works fine, we will think about 4G changes, like, bringing the same changes for 4G. But right now it is disabled. This will work only for 5G. Based on the results and discussion, we'll see if we can take it for 4G as well. But for now, it's applicable only for 5G. Yeah, that's all from my side.
Thank you so much, Yogesh. So that brings us to the end of our weekly check-ins. I'm going to pass it over to Amar to give an update on the community leadership meeting that took place last week.
Yeah, thanks, Kendall. I think there are a lot of people on this call who were in that meeting as well, but just wanted to give a couple of key takeaways from that meeting. So the objective of that meeting was to align all the, to get all the people who have product lines or like some sort of software development or requirements around Magma into a single call, so everyone knows about everyone else and also can potentially collaborate on work items that are overlapping across companies. The call was mostly, I think, first call just to level set, given the information around Meta sort of reducing their level of engineering commitment to this project over the next month, and just make sure everyone is aware of the state of the world. So the two key things, at least for me, from that call was that we identified a few points of synergy across companies. This is mostly around feature development, around say the Mark-in gateway or inter-access gateway mobility. And also we spoke about a set of projects that in a way depended on some of the grant funding that is not very clear is going to happen anytime soon. So this was, just informational. So I think the way I would read that meeting is if there are projects that folks are really interested in, please bring it to this TSC meeting. And then we will try to get a couple of efforts off the ground, especially around the Mark-in gateway and the inter-access gateway mobility, given the number of companies who are interested in contributing towards that. So that would be the two key takeaways. The third thing is I'm also trying, I'm Amar, by the way, for those I haven't met. I was the founding engineer on Magma. I'm also trying to help the Linux Foundation shepherd through this transition. And so as part of that, I would be attending these calls as well and trying to figure out how to structure these new work streams if possible. Anything else you'd like to add, Joey, Max, Shruti, Kader, Shubham, a bunch of you were there on the call.
I think, Amar, you covered it well. Thanks for jumping in to steer this boat. Welcome again. Just on top of what you mentioned, there was one action point, at least from Wavelab's point of view, that we have taken to build up the 5G SA only specific roadmap, working with all the different stakeholders and come back and present that in this TSC. So we would be kicking off that from our end, Amar, as we discussed. Other than that, I think it's well covered. I'll leave Joey and others to comment if you know we both have missed any.
That's awesome. Thanks, Kader.
Great. Thank you so much, Amar.
Thanks.
Okay, and we will move to our last topic from Max, required DP integration tests in CI.
Yeah, in the Slack, there was a discussion that these tests are now stable and should be required. They, I think, from looking at their last runs, they look to be stable for a longer time. They there's also one occurrence where they would have prevented an error. So the request was to bring it up in the TSC, and I took that, and I would. It's just another domain proxy related integration test that would give more security to the builds so that we do not break stuff. And security might not be the right word. I might have a mismatch here in my translation skills. But yeah, I don't know how to motivate that further. It's just another CI check. And I think our process right now requires required CI checks to go through TSC.
So how does TSC formally approve it? Do we have a vote? And if so, do we have quorum?
1, 2, 3. Yes, it looks like we have quorum.
Mm-hmm. If no further discussion is necessary, or if no one wants to discuss that, I would just try to kick off a vote for that to get that test required. I think I need someone to second that.
I can second the vote.
I also second it. Or
Right.
third it.
Yeah.
All in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstains? Great, motion carries.
Hey.
Great.
Good. Yeah, we will make it then required. Great.
All right, that actually brings us to the end of our agenda.
Kendall, I think we missed the roadmap update from the weekly check-in. So can we?
Yes, we can. Not sure why that didn't make it on there. Yep, let's have the roadmap update. Who will be giving that? Would that be from you or Joey?
Joey, do you have an update on the deployer feedback?
No, I do not.
So what's the status right now? I believe, are you waiting for responses or still?
Yes.
And could you share how much response have you got?
I'm just waiting for the formal response from Viasat. I mean, like, we have their feedback is essentially built into all of the feature proposals and grant requests that we created. Most of those came from Viasat. But I sent the email text that we agreed on, and I haven't gotten a reply.
Okay.
I mean, I could certainly add summary bullet points under the Wave Lab section and confirm or get it when I get an answer from Viasat.
I see. So what I think, in the interest of making progress, I believe we should move on with the information that we have so far. And I think if I were to share the screen here for roadmap, we still have one. We have the bucket on. We have the input from the stakeholders meeting from last week, and Amar had a comment around what access gateway mobility and some other features. Would you like to capture that, Amar, here? And in the meantime, we clean up the current list in terms of deprioritizing features which are pending grant approval, because those would not make quick progress, and focus on the ones that are have a status of like the domain proxy. Wavelabs team, 5G SA, Kader, if you could come back, if you and Yogesh can revise this and tell us the update on some of these which are not tied to any grants, and what is the target here? Should we plan this for release 1.9?
Shruti, hi Shruti, this is Daljit. So, but in Wavelabs, we are working on this Excel sheet with the full roadmap of 5G SA, and we have a whole lot of features in there. So, what we will be doing, reaching out to all the companies in the community and get their status updated. So once we are almost ready with the sheet, we're going to upload onto Magma Confluence and get involved with all the companies in the community. So we'll be working the rest of the week on this.
Yeah. So Shruti, the idea is, see, even though you see in this roadmap 5G SA as one line item, actually having 72 features. Okay, 72 line items. And each in some of the line items were like, 2-3 man years effort. So what we are trying to do is get everything and then reach out to all the stakeholders, like Daljit mentioned, the companies involved in this community, ask them their priority among all these features that we have collected in the list, and ask also them what kind of a contribution that they would do to make this feature up and running, right? And have a consolidated view so we can see how we can get kicked off some of these features without grant and delay the features that are required grant, right? So that's the exercise that we're going to go through. So what you see here, some of the things that are 4G, right? QFI support for 4G. These are all the features that we again got from 3 customers that we are involved right now and serving with Magma, right? So those are the features that they asked. We have put it in here, but these are not 5GSAs. 5GSAs is a different list altogether, just for the clarity. That's the exercise we need to go through to really understand, like Amar mentioned, what we can prioritize, what we can do without grant.
Great. Do you have an ETA in mind?
So we started collecting all those lists, and most probably it will be ready mid this week, and then we will reach out. We have identified close to 16 stakeholder companies to reach out with that list and set up a meeting. So every week we will update the progress. So ETA is difficult to say because I don't know about other companies when they will be available to discuss. But every week we'll show you the progress, and all this work that we are doing will be put in the Confluence, Shruti.
Great. So yeah, I think just something to keep in mind as we are wrapping up release 1.8, we need to start planning at least for 1.9 and forward. So it would be good to start putting those timelines. The other update is we have the governing board meeting this Wednesday, right, Kendall? And yes. I would wrap up this discussion and present them an update on where we are in terms of roadmap. So this is what I'm going to echo there, that currently we are on track for 1.8 release, and we are still in the process of building the roadmap for 1.9 and future releases. Mostly ongoing efforts are mostly focused on stability and better engineering, and we'll update them. Update this page.
Yeah, that's a good point, Shruti, right? So we are going to continue after 1.8. We have allocated few resources to continue from Wave Labs from the point of view of doing 2 activities rest of the year, right? That's more or less, committed activities. One is continue to improve the stability, bug fix, and all those kind of things. And the second one is get the Magma 5G interoperated with as many as RAN and orchestrator vendors. Right. So we already have, started discussing with 3 or 4 RAN vendors. Some work is ongoing right now already. So those are the 2 areas that we can kind of list it down as the committed features after 1.8 as such for now, at least to start with.
Okay, so I'm looking forward to an update on next call and update to this document.
Sure. Sure. Thank you.
Is there anything else people would like to bring up? That actually is the end of our agenda.
I might want to bring up a proposal that I created several months ago. I would just like to motivate it right now and maybe start discussing. I don't want to fully discuss it here, but just to share it very briefly, we right now have a lot of license headers in our in the source code, and they are not machine readable. They are hard to maintain, and there's no consistent CI check that they are present. And there's an alternative to that. That is called the Reuse project. It's something started by the Free Software Foundation Europe. It's a standard of how to write license information and copyright information in files in a very simple 2-line format. This is machine readable. There's tooling to create and update and maintain that. There's tooling to check that in the CI. And there's tooling to handle also files that don't have space for license headers. And that could be a way to clean that up, to make it consistent, to guarantee that everything has a license header, and could improve the code base and could make it easier to understand. This has two benefits. One benefit is we have some GPL patches somewhere in the code base, and they are pretty hidden, and you might not find them. And this could bring them in could create a bit of material of the source code that would surface that information. It would help reusers to understand what's in the source code. And it just would make the situation better, in my opinion, and easier to understand. And I just wanted to mention that once. I think there's a lot to think about that, and there might also be still the blocker that changing license headers. There might be someone, so we might want to have someone from legal involved with that. Maybe we should check that before discussing that further. I think it will be a good improvement for our code base, and yeah, that's everything I wanted to say.
Thank you, Max. Anything else from anybody?
Thanks for bringing that up, Max. I think, as you said, it would be good to check with legal. So can you or Kendall reach out to the LF legal and figure out if this is feasible, and then come back to the TSC and we can vote on it?
Yep, Max, just send me all the information. I can submit a ticket to legal. Great. Anything else from anyone? If not, then we can go ahead and end a little bit early. Thank you, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.